Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. We are here with the Ultimate Racing League for the Sunday Championship, and this is a League of Champions, the best of the best. All the fastest drivers are in League of Champions. We do have obviously six leagues on a Sunday, and this is the top tier out of everyone. Anyway, they are all in, it is all obviously one make, they're all in the Ferrari, and this is a 10-week championship. There is 5 sprint races and 5 endurance, well there's 5 sprint weeks and 5 endurance weeks. Now obviously this is round 1, a sprint round, so we have 2 races at Deep Forest Raceway. This is race 1. So there is no pit stops in this race. There will be in race 2, but once we come to that race, I will talk about it. But anyway, this is an 18-lap race. They all went out and did their 10-minute quali. TLL Smith got pole. Toby is second. Fitzy was third. Neil Farmack fourth. Dyson 5th, Brisbane 6th, Bailey qualified 7th. Now Bailey has won the previous 3 seasons, so is he going to be going for a 4th season in a row to win? 4 seasons in a row. Is he going to be able to do it? Only time will tell. Chuck, he's qualified 8th. Now Chuck won League 1 last season and he got promoted, and he's a very quick guy. Just it'd be nice to see how he does. We have Osman in 9th. We have URL Paul E72 in 10th. Now I've got to say thank you to Paul for saving and sharing the replays for me, because if he didn't I wouldn't be able to do this. We have Unforgiven in 11th. PY in 12th, he is another guy who got promoted from League 1, so it'd be nice to see how he does this season. Love Rocket Rodders, he qualified 13th, and Rossi in 14th, he's another guy who's got promoted from League 1, so it'll be good to see how he does. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on with the race and see how it does. So Smithy is there waiting for the 5 lights to go out, and they are out, and he tears down towards turn 1, having everyone else following him behind him into turn 1. Hopefully everyone can get around turn 1 without a major issue. And they do. They all got around it without an issue. Now they're coming around through the woodland part, through this tricky section, with Smithy still managing to hold Toby off, but Toby is right there behind him. He is wanting to get past Smithy as quickly as possible. As they come into the next corner, onto the long straight, and obviously they've got the 2 bridges to go through. And Fitz is still there first, Neil's in there in 4th still, Dyson's still there 5th, Brisbane there in 6th, Bailey 7th, Chuck 8th, Oz 9th, Paul 10th, Unforgiven 11th, Rogers in 12th, Rossi in 13th, so he's got ahead of P. White there as they come through. This little chicane is probably the most difficult one to get past. And Toby's really piling the pressure onto Smithy here, really trying to get past. But there's also Fitzy is trying to get past Neil. Smithy is just ahead. Who's going to have the biggest cojones coming into this corner? Smithy's going to keep that position with Toby right behind. And Neil and Fitzy are, there's been a bit of a coming together there, but I think that was, Neil spun it. Oh, he got that bit all wrong. Oh, that's... He got that bit all wrong. That's bad. So now Neil's going to have all that work to do to catch everyone back up. So we have to be interested to see how he does now. So Smithy still has the lead with Toby right on his rear end bumper. Really trying to get that position. Whereas now there's a little bit of a gap with Brisbane there third. He's got Dyson chasing him down. And then there's Bailey making his move up the grid from 8th. Just with Fitzy chasing him down. As they now come into the next corner. And Oz is there, so him going out a bit wide there for Oz. Dropped a few positions there. With Chuck there in 7th. Paul there in 8th. Oz down now down to 9th, but he's got half a second penalty as well. He's got Unforgiven right behind him, looking to try and get that position from him. They all are really all still quite closely together. Oh, they're all over the place. Oh! And Unforgiven comes down, trying to get past the Osman. Oh, Alex Unforgiven just broke a little bit late there, unfortunately, and he sort of gave a few bumps, but he took himself out. That's unfortunate for Alex, putting him down now right to the back, with Neil gaining in a position. But anyway, lap 3, Smithy still leading, Toby still right behind him, and they have started to open up a gap to Brisbane. They're in 3rd, being chased by Dyson and Bailey. And Fitzy there in 6th. Looks like they're starting to open up a little bit of a gap to Chuck, with Oz right behind him in there, but he's about to serve his penalty, so he's going to drop down a fair few spots now. So he drops down. He doesn't drop down too many spots. He only loses 1 spot. But now he's got Rodders right behind him now, trying to get that position. Rossi's now got a half-second penalty. That will allow P. White to take that position off of him, I believe, if P. White can stay within touching distance of Rossi. Neil is starting to close the gap on them now, with Unforgiven still trying to close the gap as well. Right, oh, I missed that one. So yeah, Toby has taken the lead from Smith. Don't know, unfortunately I missed that one, so I'm sorry about that. And Toby's already starting to gap Smithy a little bit. But while that's all going on, Brisbane's there in 3rd. He's definitely closing the gap on Smith gradually. But he's trying to catch Smith up, but then he's got Dyson on his rear bumper trying to catch him as well. There it is. And the current champ is there in 5th. He's made his way up from 8th place, to shows how competitive League of Champions is, because he's only made 3 positions since the start of the race. This is the most serious. Sundays is the most, well, the one league that everyone takes seriously. And Bailey's gone, trying to go for a move down Dyson. Can he do it? He does. He just gets past. So Bailey's up to 4th now, with Dyson dropping down to 5th. Fitzy there in 6th. Chuck there in 7th. Paul there in 8th. He's got half-second penalty. He's got Oz right behind him in 9th. Oz really trying to get past Paul here. And all Oz has to really do is stay behind Paul, and when Paul serves his penalty, Oz will get past rather easily. Rogers is there in 10th, with Rossi there in 11th. He's got P. White still chasing him down in 12th. Then Neil is catching up to the back of P. White now. He's not too far away. And Unforgiven is gradually catching up as well. But anyway, we're only on lap 5 and there's been a lot of action already. Trying to keep up with this is very difficult. But anyway, Toby still has the lead going on to lap 6. Smithy is still there, but he can see Briz closing that gap gradually. Looking at times, Brisbane's fastest lap is a 26.902, and Smith's is a 1:27.196. So Brisbane is driving a bit, setting a little bit faster times than Smith is, so I think it's just going to be a matter of time before Brisbane catches Smith up. And so Bailey is there with a 26.6. He's chasing after Briz at the moment, but then Briz has dropped him a little bit, but he's got Dyson right on his rear bumper, looking to try and catch him. Is Dyson going to be able to get close enough here to make a move on him? I don't think he will. So he fits you there in 6th. He's just looking out in front of him. And there's Chuck there. He's managing to hold off Oz, who's got Paul right there as well. So there's this little battle there as well. Then Rodgers is there in 10th. Rossi is there in 11th. P. White's there in 12th. He's now got a fiery Neil after that 13th, trying to make up as many pieces as he can after that second lap. Goes up the inside of P. White and does it quite easy there. So Neil's up to 12th now. P. White's down to 13th. Unforgiven is still trying to catch up. He's gradually catching up, but still not there yet. When they lap 7, Toby still has the lead, with Smithy still there in 2nd. Britt still in 3rd, but he's got a half-second penalty now, so that's going to allow Bailey to close that gap on him and maybe take that position off of him. As they come through this is the hardest section, probably hardest corner, because if you get it wrong, get a penalty. If you get it right, you can get loads of speed coming out of it. And Dice is still there in 5th. So Brisbane still hasn't served his penalty yet. He will be serving it on this lap. So Bailey should theoretically be able to get past him when he goes to serve it. Dice is there in 5th. Fitzy there in 6th, trying to close the gap. And then Chuck is there in 7th. He's got fast-paced Paul and Oz chasing as Oz has dropped down a few positions after serving that penalty. Oh, Paul hit the wall. That's going to give Oz the opportunity to try and go for a pass here. Is he going to be able to? And he is. Oz has gone to the right of Paul. They are side by side here. Let's go up. Has done it. So Bailey has got past. but Briz is coming back at him. They are side by side. Well, maybe he is just ahead, but he'll be back to Briz be right next to him again. They are side by side as they go past and start feeling straight towards turn 1. Who's going to have that third position? Is Bailey going to have it, or Brisbane going to have it? Briz is back ahead now. So Briz is back in third, but now he's got Bailey all over his rear bumper looking to try and get that position. Dyson is right there behind him as well in 5th. And Chuck is there. He's dropped off a bit from Fitzy in 7th. He's still got Oz chasing him down in 8th. Paul there in 9th. Rodders there in 10th. Rossi there in 11th. He's got Neil closing the gap on him. And I think very soon Neil will be going for a pass on Rossi. Well, can Rossi keep Neil behind him? That's going to be the question. Definitely looked like Neil got out of that corner better than Rossi did. And he is getting closer every time. Is Neil going to be close enough to make a move on this court first turn? No, he's not close enough, but he is closer to Rossi now. Where P. White is there in 13th. Unforgiven is gradually, he is catching P. White, but not quick enough. But anyway, let's go back to the front. Toby still has the lead, and he's started to actually drop Smith. There doesn't seem like there's anything Smith can do about Toby at the moment. But Toby does have the fastest lap with a 1:26.7. Briz is still there in 3rd spot. And he is all purple, so could be Briz be taking the new fastest lap here. With Bailey there, stuffed in the middle of Brisbane and Dyson at the moment. As they go across the line. Nope, so Briz was unable to claim the fastest lap. And Fitzy there is not far behind there in 6th. And there's a biggest gap to Chuck there in 7th, who's got the Osman trying to chase him down. Paul's still there in 9th, just behind. And Rogers is there, all on his own at the moment in 10th. And Rossi is in 11th still. He's still ahead of Neil. Neil is trying to catch him and pass him, but at the moment Rossi is doing a good job to keep him behind him. And P. White is there in 13th, and Unforgiven is definitely closing that gap on P. White now. He is getting closer every lap, every corner. But how long is it going to be before Unforgiven gets close enough to go for a pass? Well, Neil has definitely got a lot closer to Rossi. He's right on his rear bumper here now. Is Neil going to have the opportunity to make a pass here? Let's stay with him and see what happens. Coming into turn 1. Neil goes to the right left. And Neil does it. He has got past Rossi now up to, so Neil is now up to 11th spot. Rossi's down to 13th. And now Unforgiven is right behind P. White now. He is going for it. And Unforgiven has got past now, so Unforgiven's up to 13th. P. White's down to last. So let's go. We are on lap 12. 6 laps to go. With Toby leading, he's got a decent lead over Smith in second. With Briz, they're still in third. But he's got another penalty to serve, which is going to allow Bailey, I think, to take that third position from him. But Brisbane is gradually getting closer to Smith, but unfortunately, for that half-second penalty, that's going to stunt his advance towards catching Smith. But Brisbane has posted a new fastest lap of a 1:26.5. Bailey's still there in fourth. Dyson's in fifth still. He's been caught gradually by Fitzy there in sixth. Chuck there in seventh. Who's still being chased by Osmond in 8th. Paul there in 9th. Rogers is there in 10th. But he is now being caught by Neil. Is Neil going to be able to catch up Rogers before the end of the race? Unforgiven is there now in 12th. With P. White in 13th. Now Rossi, I think he must have had an off somewhere because he was just behind Neil and now he's dropped down to last, so I think he must have, I'm sorry I missed that, they must have had an off somewhere. There's lap 13 as Toby brings them down towards the start-finish straight to start the 14th lap. Lap 14 with Toby leading. Smithy there in second still. He's still managing to hold that second spot. Briz has now served that penalty and he's been able to stay ahead of Bailey. But Bailey is doing whatever he can to catch Brisbane up, because I'm sure he wants to try and make a full league season win again. Dyson is there in fifth still. Fitzy's still chasing Dyson in sixth. And Chuck's got his penalty to serve, so that's going to allow Oz to make the move. So Oz has got up to 7th, Chuck's dropped down to 7th, dropped down to 8th because of the penalty. With Paul there in 9th, Neil there in 10th. So Neil has got ahead of Rodders now, with Rodders dropping down to 11th. Unforgiven there in 12th. Rossi has got ahead of P. White. P. White's dropped down to last now, so now these two, Rossi and P. White, are battling it out for that last position. Who will have that last position? Will it be P. White or will it be Rossi? Only time will tell. Alright, we are lap 15, so we've got 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go after this lap. Bailey is in. Well, what's happened to Smith? Let's just go back and have a look to see what happened to Smith. 1, 2, 3. Oh. way through this, but oh, he lost it. He completely lost it coming around into the forest. That's poor old Smithy there. He was doing really well, and now he's dropped all the way down to 6th. That's really unfortunate for him there. So now that's allowed with Smith. Drop it, Smith having that little spinsy winsy. Briz has now taken 2nd spot, with Bailey up to 3rd, Dyson up to 4th, Fitzy up to 5th, and obviously now Smith is there in 6th spot. He's got a decent lead over Ozzo in 7th, Chuck there in 8th, Paul there in 9th, Neil there in 10th, Rodders there in 11th, Unforgiven there in 12th, Rossi there in 13th, so he's pulled away from P. White there in 14th now. Then we're lap 16, 2 more laps after this. Brisbane still holds the fastest lap with a 1:26.5. But it's Brisbane. Toby's doing well, but now Briz is there in 2nd spot. Is Briz and Bailey going to be able to close the gap on Toby before the end of the race, or is Toby going to be able to stay where he is and keep these guys behind him? So Dyson is there in 4th, so like they're sort of Brisbane and Bailey are leaving Dyson for dust now. He's starting to get away. Fitzy is closing that gap on Dyson gradually. And then there's Smithy trying to make up for lost ground for his Spinsy the lap before. Oz there in 7th. He's got the Chuckinator closing that gap on him, looking to try and get past. Paul there in 9th, he's got a half-second penalty to serve. Is Neil going to be able to catch up Paul? There is quite a biggest gap there, so unless Paul makes a big mistake, Neil probably won't be able to close that gap. And there's a big gap to Rodders there in 11th. Unforgiven is quite far behind there in 12th. Rossi there in 13th. He's still got P. White chasing him down. So back up to the front, lap 17. Toby is still leading. Let's go on board with Toby for a minute. He can just about see Briz and Bailey behind him in the far distance as he comes around this corner. Now he's bringing the car down the hill and then back up the hill as they go around this sort of corner. Bringing it down to the start-finish straight to start his final lap of this 18-lap race. Coming down to the first turn and carrying on. So Toby's doing well. So Briz is pulled away from Bailey now, but if Bailey wants to get past him, he's got to do it this lap because there is only this lap to go. Dyson there in 4th. Yeah, so Toby has got the lead with Brisbane there in 2nd. Bailey seems to have got even closer to Brisbane now. I think that was Brisbane. He made a tiny error going into the forest. That's allowed Bailey to get right onto his rear bumper now. This is going to be a tasty one. Is Bailey going to be able to get past Briz into this final corner, basically this major final corner? Oh, Bailey lost it. But anyway, we better go back up to the front. Toby takes victory at race 1. Briz takes a second spot. Dyson third. Smith fourth. Fitzy fifth. Bailey finishing 6th, unfortunately. Oz finishing 7th. Chuck finishing 8th. Paul finishing 9th. Neil finishing 10th. Unforgiven taking 11th. Rodders taking 12th. Rossi taking 13th. And P. White taking 14th. Now that was race 1. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you soon for race 2. So bye bye for now.